What's up, you guys? Namicon here, bringing you my perspective as to what entertainment is bringing us. And today we will be talking about one of my favorite movies of all time, Toy Story 2. Released in theaters on November 24th, 1999, this movie was a critical and commercial success, grossing over $512 million over a $90 million budget. This movie was the third most successful movie of that year, with it only being surpassed by Star Wars The Phantom Menace and The Sixth Sense. This film is widely seen by critics as superior to its predecessor, which is a big feat for Pixar, who were a new studio from the block at the time. The film stars Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Jim Varney, John Ratzenberger, Don Rickles, Wallace Shawn, Annie Potts, Joan Cusack, Wayne Knight, and Kelsey Grammer. The film was directed by the myth, the legend, John Lasseter. So this film is about the livelihood of toys, and I say that because Woody's arm was ripped off, which made Andy sad. Andy's mom put Woody on the shelf to get him fixed or to be sold. Woody unfortunately gets nightmares about it, as his worst fears of Andy not playing with him anymore is becoming a reality in his eyes. One toy that actually faces that reality is getting sold. His name is Wheezy, a penguin whose purpose is to be squeezed. The reason he is being sold is because his speaker is broken. Due to the fact that Wheezy is being sold in the yard sale, Woody was left no choice but to rescue him. That all went to shit when Woody fell in the middle of the concrete, and there is a toy enthusiast. His name is Al. He actually finds him. Andy's mom insisted that Woody is not for sale, but Al didn't care. He stole Woody and he fled. Al is not only a toy enthusiast, he is a collector, and we found that he collected every single toy from a TV show called Woody's Roundup, and he intends on selling them to a museum abroad. He also owns a store called Al's Toy Barn. With Woody being kidnapped, it is all up to Buzz and his crew to go rescue him from Al from his store. Toy Story 2 should be heralded as one of the greatest sequels ever made. This movie is what a sequel should do. Build upon what the first movie did and make the story more grand. This movie is about moving forward, even if the outcome is not to your liking. This movie also tackles on moving on from your past, specifically towards the new character from the block, Jessie, who is pissed that Woody wants to leave her group, even though he found that he is a lot bigger than he thought. Jessie was scarred from her past with her previous owner, and it made her resent towards Woody because of her experience. I really love Jessie and Bullseye. They are fantastic inclusions to the Toy Story family, and I see them as inseparable members of the crew. The animation still holds up incredibly well. You can also tell that this film looks better compared to the first movie. A lot of the characters and backgrounds have way more detail. Even the camera work is really impressive. Like the last parts of the movie, the camera was really effective. Obviously, the movie is surprisingly funny too. Obviously, there is a lot of Star Wars reference with Buzz and Zurg. When I was a child, I didn't get the references. I didn't really get into Star Wars until I was like high school. Although I did watch a couple of episodes of the 2008 Clone Wars show back in the day. But now that I understand them, the jokes are hilarious. This film is also bigger in scope. In the first movie, we go to two houses and in an arcade. In Toy Story 2, we go to an apartment, a toy store, and an airport. And you can tell the grander scope with the camera they use, and along with the cinematography being excellent. The fact that this film almost became lost media is insane. So what happened was that during the development of the film, someone accidentally pressed delete all button on his PC, and it contained every asset that was developed for Toy Story 2. 90% of the files was deleted from there. It wasn't just their PC, it was also deleted from their own server. The only reason why it was salvaged was because an employee took a hard drive of it during her pregnancy. The employee straight up came to her house to copy her hard drive because almost all of the data was lost. Unfortunately, all that stress was for naught, as John Lasseter saw the development of the film, and let's just say he was not impressed. And so they had to start all over again, and it took them 9 months to complete the movie and meet the deadline. Lasseter pleaded Disney to delay the movie and they would not oblige. Because of that, Lasseter had to bring his A team to make this project work in such a tight crunch. Thankfully, it paid off as this is a sequel that somehow exceeds the first movie in every way. One thing I love about this movie is the Prospector as a villain. He is a toy that has never been played with, so when he found out that Woody wanted to go home to Andy, he was appalled. He thinks children would destroy things without a second thought. But Woody tells the Prospector that it is simply about having a connection along with a family, something that he could not comprehend as he stayed in the box for his entire life. The one thing that I need to mention for Toy Story 2 is the opening. This is one of the greatest openings I have ever seen in a movie. Like the way this movie opens is so this movie opens with Buzz be, being on a unknown planet, but what we do know about this unknown planet is that Zurg has a military base there, and that dude the way this film, the way the backgrounds, the way the animation looks in that opening scene in particular, it is so good, and the camera work looks is absolutely excellent. And the part where Buzz flies, it goes so hard. A lot, not only with the animation, but the cinematography and the music too. The score by Randy Newman is so iconic. It is absolutely iconic. I still remember, even though I haven't watched this film in a long time, I still remember that opening. It is absolutely one of the great. I will stand by that this is one of the greatest openings of all time. But we do find out that that opening scene was all just a video game. But it was being played by Rex. But still, that opening, absolute cinema. Overall, this is one of the greatest sequels ever made. This movie's a masterpiece. This is one of the greatest Pixar movies ever made. This There is something about Toy Story that gets consistently good, and even with Toy Story being an absolute, being the first movie being an absolute big first impression, and it sets the tone for a new studio at the time. Toy Story 2, the sequel, shows that they are staying for a long time, and with Toy Story 3 being the final chapter for Andy, and it was for a long time it was considered to be one of the it was considered to be one of the greatest trilogies of all time, bar none. And now with Toy Story 4, and now as of the making of this video, Toy Story 5 on the way. This is a franchise that is not gonna stop for as long as Pixar is alive. Toy Story 2 for me gets an A plus. This is how you make a sequel. This is literally how you make a sequel. This is better than the first movie in every single way. Like much grander story, much grander character development, and a much better score. Like this movie has everything you need in a sequel. So for those that have watched Toy Story 2, did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below if you actually prefer this movie over the first movie. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and comment down below if this is your favorite Toy Story movie. I would not argue with you on that. I would say my favorite Toy Story movie is 3. So I absolutely cannot wait for Toy Story 5. That is like my most anticipated movie of the summer, along with Coyote versus Acme. And with that out of the way, this is Namakan. I'll see you all next time.